Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Arkelian. You can call me Kelly because it's easier. Today we're going to be working with some epoxy resin and we're going to be doing a few keychains, okay? I've already mixed some yesterday with some gold flakes and added into the letters that I need. So those have already cured, and now I'm going to mix my epoxy, which I have a 1-to-1 ratio of part A and part B, 40 milliliters each, equaling up to a total of 80 milliliters. I know it's more than what I need. I'm probably going to end up pouring it into something else anyway, which is what I usually do. But we're going to go ahead and get this mixed up, and so we can go ahead and add some colors to it. All right. This is not my first YouTube video, but it is the first one that I actually have taken the initiative to say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this the right way. Simply because I'm very bashful, and I've been crafting for about a year now. I started out making tumblers, and then I graduated to doing party favors and t-shirts and mugs and all of that stuff, which is, I don't know if you could see my equipment, but a lot of it's in my garage here, which is where I use my workspace. Well, use for my workspace. And anywho, I decided I was going to go ahead and take my time and make an actual video for beginners by a beginner, because I still consider myself a beginner because there are a lot of things that I'm still learning. Like right now, I'm mixing my resin too fast, and I know I am. But hey, that's about sense, you know. Luckily, I can let it sit for a couple of seconds or so and kind of get the bubbles out and everything, which I also learned is easy to do when you use a little alcohol. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this mixed up, and then we're gonna go ahead and add some colors to it. I had some made already from the other day with the other letters, and I just didn't finish these. So we're gonna do black and white and try to do a marble effect to them and see how that comes out. The other ones, they turned out pretty good. They showed up mostly black though, but like I said, I'm still in the learning phase. And if anybody watches this video and you see something that I'm doing wrong, you know, or you may have some insight, please feel free to share. Okay, because I'm not too old to learn. This old dog can learn new tricks. Okay. And for those that are new, as I like to say, like really new beginners, when you're mixing your epoxy or your resin, same thing, you want to make sure that you mix it up really well, that it is actually clear. Make sure you're getting along the sides, getting anything off of the sides of it. Make sure there are no more streaks in it, because you can tell the difference in the part A and the part B, because it will streak. And once all the streaks are gone, then you know it's mixed pretty well. And from the looks of this, all of my streaks are gone. I just got a few bubbles in there, but that's okay because we know how to fix that. And it's actually not that bad, because I know when I first started, oh my God, I had bubbles galore in everything. And it was funny because I didn't know that spraying alcohol in my workspace was gonna affect the epoxy that I was putting on my tumblers. So I had to keep repeating the coating on them and everything. It was wild. But, you know, if you knew better, you do better. Thank God I learned better. So right here, I just got a regular old wet wipe. And I'm going to clean off my stick. Okay. Just to make sure that I have no more resin on there. And I have 2 cups. Well, actually 3. I only need 2. That I'm going to pour. Yeah, that's good and clear. I'm going to pour like half and half into each cup so that I can mix my colors. That's a little over half. So whatever's left in here, we'll pour in there. That'll make it even. Okay. Looking good so far. Thank you guys for being so patient with me. Thank you for tuning in. Like I said, I know I'm fairly new. So I do appreciate any comments, any feedback that you may have for me that can help me grow better, as well as my developing audience and viewers. I got to come up with a name for you all, because I do have an Etsy shop. I do mostly digital on my Etsy shop, and all of my physical products I do locally here at home. But yeah, eventually I want to get good enough where I can start posting some of this stuff on my Etsy shop, you know, and start reaching different corners of the world. It makes sense to me. I was gonna say if that makes sense, but hey, it makes perfect sense to me. After all, you're only as big as your mind will let you think you are. And I want to be big. Not too big for my britches, though. As my great grandmama used to say. Okay. So I got my pigment out. I have a black alcohol ink. And I also have an alcohol ink that's for pens. But ink is ink, and it's really a pretty pearl like white that we're going to use that. And I also have some black acrylic paint that I got from Michael's, just to give a little depth to the black, because I don't want to use the acrylic paint by itself. It's too heavy to get the darkness that I want, to make it as opaque as I want. So I'm gonna put quite a bit of the alcohol ink into one, and then I'm gonna put just a drop of that acrylic black. Okay, and then over here for my white, my stopper don't work. I'm gonna see if it'll work today. Nope. So we're just gonna pour just a little bit in there. Okay. And you know, when you're using resin and mixing colors, those colors can go a long way. They'll last you a good while. Okay, look at that. That is so pretty. I just love that white. But I don't know if it's going to be dark enough, if it's going to be opaque enough. So I may have to go ahead and put just a little dab of some white acrylic paint in there, because I want it to be pearlized. I'm not really worried about the black being pearled. I want the white to be pearled out. Okay. So let me mix this up. And as you can see, the bubbles are all gone. So I wasn't really worried about it because I knew that they would. All right. Yeah. See, that's how I want it as far as the black is concerned. Okay. Now for this white, I'm going to go ahead and get just a little dab of some white acrylic paint. That's enough right there, because I want to keep that pearl sheen to it, but I want it to be more opaque than what it is. Look at there. Now that is perfect. See, and I know you may be wondering, well, why don't you just buy the white that you need? Well, I had the white that I needed and I used it all up. So right now I'm using what I got to get the results that I want. Okay, we crafting on a budget over here, by any means within reason. Go ahead and clean that stick off. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and clean this black one off as well. And yes, I am mixing over my mold because I've already used those letters up there, so it's not gonna hurt me, as long as I'm careful. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I want it to be mostly black, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour in a little bit, just a teeny bit of black first. And I have absolutely zero steadiness in my hands, which is why I'm glad I bought this leveling board. I got an X and a Y down here too. I did invest in this J Diction leveling board, well, leveling table as they call it. I'll put a little bit more black in this B, because I want everything to be nice, and I want it to be nice and level. Okay, and I'm not gonna, well, I know I'm not capable of doing that by myself without a little help. So I went ahead and bought one. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit of each, a little bit at a time, and hopefully it'll give me the desired effect that I want. Trying not to fill it up too much because I have a bad habit of doing that. Yep, I have a really bad habit of pouring too much into, so we're gonna just do this, the rest of these. That's gonna be pretty. Yep, it's gonna be pretty. Since I got a little going in the C already anyway, and of course I got to do an A for myself. Okay, still got a little more. Let's do an E. And we'll finish it up with, oh well, we already here. Do the O. It's gonna be so pretty. The I. We'll do the I. Got enough left to do the I. Won't not, waste not, because you never know. I can always make these and find something to do with them. You know? Go ahead and clean up my little space. Now I'm gonna take, I have a little bamboo stick. You know, they call them the little skewers. And I'm just gonna kind of swirl that around and try not to scratch my mold. I'm not going all the way to the bottom of the mold. It's gonna be cute. To give it a better marble effect. I think that's going to be so pretty. And I mean, you don't have to do this like I'm doing it. This is just a method that works for me, that I felt inclined to share with the world, because I am enjoying what I'm doing. Okay. Well, you probably can't even see all the way over there anyway, but it's okay. You've seen the main parts where I have blended my resin. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm gonna get another wipe and clean up this seat, because like I said, I'm really bad. Uh-oh, sorry about that. I hit my camera. I am really bad about leveling stuff off. As a matter of fact, let me just take this stick here and see if I can't slide it on over into the D. You dig? Yeah, that's good. And now, so that way I don't have so much to wipe up. And there's nothing wrong if you have a little overspill, because you can easily clean it up as long as it's wet. Well, even if it dries, you may have to do a little sanding or filing or whatever method you choose to clean up. Okay, I personally would prefer to not have any spillage, but I do it all the time. So, hey, it is what it is. But I did pretty good today, though. I don't know why, if it's because I'm making this video or what the case may be. But I feel pretty good about that. Okay. So, now that we've got those poured in, I'm just cleaning this off a little bit. Like I said, I don't want to have too much overspill. And I want my letters to be crisp when they come out. Okay. So, this resin, it's a quick dry. And I didn't realize it when I bought it, but it's not going to take a full 24 hours for it to cure. But I will let it sit for about 4 to 6 hours. And then we'll be back to dome them. And I'm going to go over that with you all as well, as to how I learned how to dome my pieces. And we'll see you in just a sec. Thank you. While I'm waiting on those letters for the keychains to dry, I just remembered that I had some coasters that needed demolding. So I'm going to go ahead and do those right quick. These actually are going with a set that I had already made, but the it didn't fill the holder. And this is the mold that I use for the for the coaster holder, and I made 4 of them. Actually, I made 5 of them, and it'll actually hold 7. So I went ahead and made 2 more. And as I was saying earlier, you know, I have a problem with over pouring. As you can see, I over poured this one, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and trim that up. But ain't it pretty? It's so pretty. Got a little bubble right there, but it's okay. So I'm gonna just grab my scissors and trim that little edge off right there. That is so cute. I'm gonna show y'all the whole set in a little bit. I actually did a pink one as well. Just take some scissors and cut that off like that, and get a little file or something. Smooth it off, and there you go, like new. Okay, which I'm probably gonna which I am. Well, I don't have to necessarily. I don't have to dome it, but I can put like a little polish on there to kind of clean that little part up right there. And then we have this one to go with that. It's half and half. It's just got a little piece right there I can just tear off. It's not too bad. Yeah, these are cute. And I didn't buy any really expensive molds. I got these from Hobby Lobby. This one and this one I got from the Dollar Tree. I was in there, and a lot of times you can find that printable iron-on vinyl. Not printable, I'm sorry. But the iron-on vinyl in there, they'll have it for like 50 cents. So this time they had some in there for a quarter. But I saw these molds in there. I thought they were so cute. And so I grabbed them, and look at there. That is just too cute. I had some chunky glitter with the pumps. They're red pumps, high heel pumps, and I mixed that all in. You can see what some of the bubbles were, but that's fine. It's cute. It's cute still. Yeah, not bad for $1.25. Okay, because you know everything ain't $1 no more. Right. And this one, same thing. I had some blue chunky glitter that actually is the same kind of glitter that's in the coaster, but just a different color. And then I just put some plain old resin on the back of it and cured it. And this one doesn't have any bubble indentations around it, so that one did really well. This one does though. I forgot to spray my mold, because I'm trying not to spray too much alcohol in the molds, because eventually they will mess up, and then you'll have to be buying molds over and over and over again. Let me show you the set that this goes with. I was gonna make a tray. Well, I did make a tray for it, and yeah, let me go ahead and show you guys that and let you see how it turned out. Yeah, this is the blue that I did. I see I made the new ones a little darker, but that's okay, because they're still blue. They'll blend in just fine. But this is the container. This is the coaster holder, and these are the coasters that I made to go with that. I think that one is just adorable. I put some dried flowers in that one, and a little center part of white, and then the blue on the outside, and then I just yeah, that was it. And then this one I tried to do like a raindrop effect, which it still turned out cute. So I dropped the resin in first and then let it dry, and then I went over it with a clear coat of foil, blue foil that I had, and then I topped it off with some white. And this one is one of the ones I just made. And then this one I did the dots on that as well. So yeah, and just put some glitter in on the back of it. I mixed it in with a little bit of white. And that's the blue set right there. And this is my pink. Haha, I love pink. I made this little tray with some chunky glitter and the pink foil. And then I made this cutting board to go along with that. And I made these coasters to go along with that. So yeah, as I said, it holds 7 in all. That's 1, 2. This one is just plain white with the white chunky glitter in it. And this is pink with the white chunky glitter in the middle. And then I did a pink and white effect with the chunky glitter. It's got pink and white glitter in it. And then this one is just plain old pink and white. And this one is a half and half. So yeah, I did those as well. I hope you like those. That's just a start of some of the things that I've made using resin. So I hope y'all like those, and hopefully that'll give you the inkling to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Like, share, comment, all of that good stuff. And we're gonna learn together. How about that? And we're still waiting on those letters to dry. So I'll be back. Okay, everybody, we're back. It's the next day. I did go ahead and let these dry overnight. Just because I got busy. And I wanted to make sure that they were completely cured anyway. But they turned out really well. So let's go ahead and start demolding. This is our S. And this is what we have as far as our mixture goes. Let's see what the T looks like. I hope they... Oh, that's cute. That is really cute. It's nice. And let's see what our U is looking. Oh, that's really pretty. Not bad. Not bad at all. For a beginner. Okay. And let's see the V. Cool. Uh-oh. Got a little bubble spot right there, but that's okay. It's quite all right. Trial and error. We learning together. And here we have our X. That's nice. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm going to do them off camera, but right now I'm just going to go ahead and do these. And this is our Y. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and dome these with some UV resin, because you can dome with UV. And it makes life so much simpler. Especially when it's something small like this. Now, if it's anything larger, then you want to go ahead and use your resin, your epoxy resin, to dome it and seal it in. So let's go ahead and do this U. I like this U. All right. Just got my clear UV right here. And we're just gonna go all the way around on the edges first, because that's usually the hardest part to try to catch. And then just come back in on the inside edge, and then we'll fill it in the middle. All right, so I'm making sure that we got all the edge covered. I'm a little less talkative today because I've been cleaning. It's Saturday morning, well, afternoon now. And I've been cleaning all day and I'm tired. I am tired. I'm making sure that I got all the little gaps filled. Okay, and that we got coverage on the edge really well. There we go. Okay, so no need to spritz it because I don't see any bubbles anywhere. I got my UV flashlight here, and we're just gonna go ahead and cure it for a couple of, it doesn't take long at all for this UV resin. If you walk outside with it and the sun is beaming bright, it's gonna cure instantly. That's one thing I like about it, but you can't really do large projects with it because I found that it turns more rubbery like, and we're done. That's done. Yeah, it turns more rubbery like. As a matter of fact, I tried to make some coasters using UV resin, and let me see if I got one right here. Yeah, I do. I did the raindrop effect on it, and this is one that I did, and I didn't like it at all. And it's when it cured, it got a little hump in the middle where it began to raise up, like curing towards the light. So yeah, I didn't like that at all. Okay, so now that we went ahead and domed that, I'm gonna go ahead and put in a eye hook and go ahead and make this a keychain, and we'll be done with this video. All right, so I got my handy dandy drill, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drill the little hole right here in the top center part of this U. Make sure I got it. And you don't have to go too deep. And I found it's best to go ahead and drill it back out of the hole instead of trying to snatch it out the hole, because then you will you'll mess it up basically. You will mess it up. You'll strip it. That's the word I'm looking for. You'll strip it. And then you'll have to go in with a larger size thread. Okay. So I got my little eye pins here. A little eye screws, should I say. And we're gonna do a gold one. Now, another thing that I like to do also is, a lot of people don't do this, but to me, I like stability. And you can just take like a little dab of the UV resin or super glue or whatever you have, and put it on there before you screw it in. Make sure I can find the hole. There we go. Just go ahead and screw it in like so. Ah, I dropped it. I always drop it. Good thing I got another one right here. I always drop these things because I'm so clumsy. I really am. I always have been. All right, there we go. Now we're getting it screwed in really good. I just dabbed a little bit of the UV resin on the tip of the screw. And you're gonna screw it in like so. And then I just hit it with the light again. That's just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere, which it shouldn't. Stop, Ezra. Takes a second. Go ahead and try to test that out. And it's not moving, y'all. It's not moving. It is not going anywhere. Okay, Lindo. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. And so I have some fresh keychains right here. And we are going to, I don't have a dab nabbit. Let me see. I think I got, I don't know. I did not get any jump rings. Hold on a second. Okay, I got lucky. I had one. I'm gonna go ahead and put this jump ring on here. Even though it's gold, it's okay. It's for tutorial purposes anyway. And we're going to go ahead and hook that there. And we're going to take the chain. Y'all can see. And we're going to go ahead and hook that on there. And we're going to twist. And I'm going to use this to hold this side. And then we're just going to go ahead and close it like so. And there we go. Got a nice little keychain, y'all. Isn't that cute? All right. I'm sorry I had to cut the video short, but I am really truly tired. Yeah. From one beginner to another one, I thank you all so kindly and so patiently for, well, thank you for being patient with me. And I look forward to the next video. So if you found this helpful, or if you just like listening to me talk, I really appreciate it if you give me a thumbs up. You can share a comment in the comment section. I'm not able to list any links or anything just yet because my channel is fairly new. But as soon as I'm able to, then I will be making sure that I add links in so that you all can get the products that I'm using as well. And like I said, everything is beginner friendly because I'm a beginner as well. And so I enjoy doing this. I really enjoy doing this. And I just want to reach out to like-minded people that are just starting out or maybe afraid to start. And hey, just letting you know, if you don't start, you'll never know what you can do. You know, if little old me can do it, I know you can. Okay. And here we go. This is our end result. Thanks again. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you later.